How to adjust the filters in order to be able to find different loops within your Dotloop. Now, the filter is a nice function that you'll be able to use to help you weed out which documents you're going to look at. After a while, as you can imagine, you're going to be generating a lot of loops. And some of them, especially ones that you've closed, you don't want to keep looking at them on your main page, yet you still want to be able to have access to them. So that is being done here with the filter section. Now, I'm not going to go over and mention each one of these, but this is what I recommend to all of you as agents to set your filters at. And I'm just going to take a moment for everyone to be able to take a look at the screen so they can see what it should look like. Okay, now let's say, for example, you want to try to find a transaction that is already closed. That's very simple to do. You would come down here and you would select the sold, but as you can see, I'm not able to do that. You are only allowed a certain number of filters for each of these different categories. So it's going to take a little playing around with this. What I normally do is I'd like to unselect done, put in sold, maybe unselect all of these. And then when I search, actually I'll unselect all these too. There, so now I'm only looking for sold properties. Hit filter, and then any transaction that I have sold will now come up here. Go back to your filter. Let's say I want to look for ones that have been archived. I can go ahead and filter those, and then everything that I've done that I've archived will now appear. As you can see, this is a pretty extensive list. So let's say I know I've archived it, but there's a specific one I want to look for. Here in the search button, I can then start putting in the address. And sure enough, 710 East Francis has showed up. It's been archived, and now I'm able to look at that. So there are so many different combinations that you could use here. It would be an hour-long video for me to do, which I'm not going to do because none of you are going to watch it that long. But my suggestion is when you're looking for something, if it's in your loop and you can't find it, start playing around with your filters and you should be able to find it at some point. Just going to put my filters back to the way they were. All right. Leave sold, leased, archived alone. Hit filter. Notice how I still have the 710. Let's get rid of that. And then all of them come up. Now, you can also do this with your main screen. Let's say, for example, you've got quite a few transactions going on and you want to go to one specific one. Just go to the search, 1, 2, 3, 4, start putting in the address, and anything that has 1, 2, 3, 4 will show up. Or you can also search with maybe the street name. That'll be able to show up also. One last thing that I want to show you is you have a sort function here, and you can sort by whatever one of these categories you'd like to use. So default, pretty much just whatever you've got there. I don't know exactly how it sorts it with default. If you want to sort it by address, you can certainly do that, and then it reorganizes everything. Hit address again, and it does it in opposite order. So you hit it once for ascending, second for descending. When it was last updated, you'll be able to look at it that way. MLS number, if you have it in, purchase price, all these other categories you're able to put in. So you'll be able to look for addresses that way. Actually, now that I look at this, I'm going to change mine to address, make it a little bit easier to find everything. So that's a real quick description as to what you'll find on the main page, but how to adjust your filters.